Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Chris here from Fake Sports News, Axis Rotation, however the flip you know me. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick preview of what to expect going into CDL Champs, of course, that being our final event of the 2025 CDL season, where we will get our rings, see our MVPs crowned, and that's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the intro as always. Sorry if I sound a little bit low energy. It has been a crazy, crazy 2 weeks for me. You guys, some of you who are longtime members of the channel, longtime supporters, you guys know I have a host of health issues. I'm not a very healthy human being. And unfortunately, during my vacation, I was able to take a nice family vacation to NOLA, support my little brother. And, family comes first, but sometimes my health, unfortunately, comes in last place. And that's where I am right at the moment. Wasn't really sure that I'd be able to get this video out to you guys. I've been vomiting nonstop for like 4 days, not to get too graphic or crass with you guys, but just want to be transparent. And I am so wiped. So I'm going to try to keep this really short and sweet. Yeah, traveling out of town is always hard for me. And then on top of that, I went back to my storage unit that I've had since I moved home, with my family during COVID when I was in undergrad at Emory. And yeah, motherfuckers robbed me, bro. So my two TVs and my bed out of my storage unit that I've been paying for. So yeah, I had to file a police report. Ended up staying at home in Atlanta way longer than expected because of the ongoing proceedings with people stealing my shit. So, yeah, it's been a crazy 2 weeks, guys. I'm happy to be back on the channel, happy to be back at home at my computer. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into winners round one, where we will have number one, the LA Thieves, taking on our 8 seed, the Boston Breach. And honestly, even though the Boston Breach were able to get a very, very surprising upset at Major 2, I believe, over the LA Thieves when they were 1 seed and Breach were conversely 8 seed. Don't see Lightning striking in the same place twice. LA Thieves have looked final. I don't see that stopping going into champs. I think Breach will be definitely playing their best Call of Duty of the year, last event of the year before EWC. Last chance to really solidify their reasoning as to why they belong on that team for EWC and why, Boston shouldn't just look elsewhere to maybe start a little bit fresh because obviously, as we know, this Boston Breach team has held since last EWC. So I don't see that changing just because of money. But anyways, I think it'll be a 3-1 in favor of the LA Thieves. I think they're just final right now, and I don't have them really taking a step back at any point in this tournament. Now, our next matchup, this will be a really interesting one, probably the most interesting one of Friday. I'm sorry, of Thursday, if we're being honest. Vancouver taking on the Miami Heretics. The much improved Miami Heretics, it must be said. I think this goes to a game 5 just because Vancouver, they were a top team all year long. I don't see them coming into champs and just kind of crapping the sheets, right? But I do think that Miami is just at a place now with their team comp and kind of the way that the game has gone for them in the last couple months where I see them being a pretty good team. I think they're bound for a top 4 here, probably top 3. Now, looking at our other half of the bracket, we have the Toronto Ultra taking on the Carolina Royal Ravens, Sans Vivid, plus Rex. And yeah, with that in mind, I think it'll be a Joe Deceives, Beans masterclass here. I think Kleenex makes a statement. He's always been a champs player. And yeah, I think honestly it'll be a pretty decisive win for the Purple Squirrely Boys. And this is their home event, right? They're hosting champs in Kitchener. So I don't see them coming out flat and getting first rounded, right? So, speaking of teams that I don't see getting first rounded, my home team, Atlanta Faze, I have them coming out pretty hot in this matchup against Optic Texas. They're 5-0 against them on the year, 2 wins with Mercules, 3 wins without. So, yeah, I don't see Faze losing to Optic in a match they've dominated all year long. I just haven't felt like Optic have shown the necessary improvements to really beat a team like Faze. Now, that means in Elim round 1, we will have the Boston Breach taking on the Vancouver Surge. And yeah, I expect Surge to get some free movement here, right? Get to Elim round 2. Just because Boston, they've been a good team, but they haven't looked great. So, similarly, I think in Elim round 1, I think Optic Texas take Carolina to the brink because what would it be like? It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be champs without a Optic heart pounder in game 5, right? Then similarly on the top half of the bracket, I see the LA Thieves handling business. I think after their embarrassing loss to Miami at last event, especially with, the glitch that Scrap got where they should have won on Skyline, yeah, I think that they will come out really hot, and I think they'll get a 3-1 here, fixing their mistakes. Similarly, I think that the Atlanta Faze boys get a 3-1 over our home host, that being the Toronto Ultra. Yeah, I just feel like Faze is just a little bit better right now. Obviously, they won 2 events. Ultras 1-0, so them making it to the winners finals is not really that far fetched. I think it'll be a 3-1. Now, let's move into Elim round 2, where we will have the Battle of the North and then the age-old battle of Optic versus their number 1 ops, the Miami Heretics. I think that the Miami Heretics, I think they get their get back over Optic when it really matters, just because, Optic, they've been trying to make a lot of changes throughout the year, dropping Kenny and Pred, then picking up, of course, Mercules late in the season. And then, yeah, it's just been a mess. It's been a revolving door for those guys. And, they even had Skies on the team at one point, so they've just been really struggling this year. I don't see them like riding the ship right now. I think this is just kind of a hodgepodge team that really got to champs because of early qualification points that they banked on. So yeah, that's why I have Miami making it to Ilim round 3. Conversely, I think the Toronto Ultra between these two teams in recent form, I do like Ultra over Surge, even though Surge has been pretty good in this matchup all year long. I just feel like Ultra has shown us more like pop off potential, especially where Joe is concerned. And Surge, they've been kind of on a downturn throughout the last 2 stages. So not really sure what to expect from them, but not expecting a ton. So that means that in Elim round 3, we would have the Toronto Ultra taking on the Miami Heretics. And I think the Heretics, even though it is Toronto's home event, honestly, I'll believe in the home event cheese. I'll believe in the home event cheese. I think that Miami probably about top 4 here. I feel like they are the better team, but the crowd buff is a real thing. So that's why I have the Toronto Ultra moving on to elimination, the elimination final, getting a top 3 berth once again at Champs. Toronto's always been a really solid team at CDL Champs. I think they've only placed outside the top 3 once or twice, so maybe just once. But anyways, enough yap. On to the winners final. I think that the LA Thieves versus Atlanta Faze will be an absolute barn burner. But I think Faze, they have a lot of egg on their face after losing Major 4 in the grand finals and getting absolutely smoked. So I don't see that happening again. I think that going into champs, an event where Simp, Abizi, and Celium, and Draza especially, they all get buffed. I don't see that stopping. I mean, famously, Scrap has never won a map in the champs grand finals. So we'll see if he can, overcome that. But that might be a real thing, ladies and gents. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe they win it all, but I don't know. I don't know. The Bulldog was Bulldogging last year, but still, or I'm sorry, 2 years ago, but still, I don't know, man. That's kind of not a great feeling going into a grand final, right? Ghosty's never been to one. Scrap has never won a map in one, and then Envoy and Hydra both have rings, so you expect them to be solid, but you never know. It's champs, and those phase guys. They are back to back Black Ops champs, right? Simp and Abizi, they became a duo in Black Ops 4, won the last 2 events of the year and champs. Cold War, they won 4 of 6 events, including champs. So I don't know, man. Looking kind of interesting. Faze is very consistent in Black Ops games, so I don't see that stopping here. Yeah, that's why I have them winning in the winners finals in the game 5. So that means that the LA Thieves will drop to face the home hosts, whatever you want to call them, the hosts of this year's champs, the Kitchener Ultra, Toronto Ultra, Squirrely Boys, whatever you want to call them. I think it's a 3-1 favor of the LA Thieves. I think they are just a little bit better than the Ultra. Even though Ultra will be playing with a chip on their shoulder, I just feel like it's a Faze versus Thieves game. And, everybody's just living in that world, right? So, with that being said, I think in the grand finals, we will have Atlanta Faze standing tall over the LA Thieves with a 5-3. I think the Faze will right their wrongs. I think they'll look a lot better than they did at Major 4, where they conversely got waxed. I think that they will be practicing expressly to take down the LA Thieves, and I think this time they'll actually get it done. Sometimes it's not best to win early in COD. We've seen usually the team that's the best team at the end of the year just went out, right? Like usually the best team wins champs and major 4 or 5. But I think this year is a little bit more back and forth. I think we have a much different narrative that's developing between Faze and Thieves. They are so back and forth. But I do think that Faze, after losing 2 majors back to back, I think that they will definitely get their get back here. You cannot doubt Simp and Abizi at champs, ladies and gents. That's how I think it ends. Want to keep this short and sweet. You guys know I'm not doing too great, not feeling good at all. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. thank you to everyone who's shown like support this year. I really appreciate you guys. I tried to market myself and what I'm doing to the community. If you want to check out the GPT before champs, please do. Break it, play with it, whatever. Yeah, I'm really excited. Only open public data set in Call of Duty right now. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to stay tuned for the website coming over the summer. Wanted to get up before champs, but was out of town and couldn't get any work done. So it is what it is. Catch you guys on the next one. We keep moving. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night. And thanks for rocking with the kid. Let's lock it in and hope for another banger champs, right? What happened? Oh, okay. I'm logged out. All right. Well, I will remake my picks and then I'll see you guys on the next one. Once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News, Axis Rotation. However, flipping at me on these interwebs, and I'll see you guys on the next one.